D2 Word Life here with Riptidz.
Come on. There we go. Good. Fucking camera switch shit. Here we go. It's more like El Champion, bitch.
You lucky son of a bitch, quit rubbing that in my face.
It's El Champion.
Yeah, quit rubbing that in my face. You got lucky. Over on
I am
Twitch for those
the
streams.
inaugural, the one and only champion.
God damn it. You got lucky winning that Fortnite championship a week ago at time of recording.
Lucky. Yeah, that's what it was. No, that was pure skill.
Yeah, whatever. And you retaining it the other day, a couple weeks ago, whenever I put this up. Yeah, you also got lucky. And get your face out of the camera, it's breaking. God damn it, that's creepy. But anyway.
Ooh.
But anyway, we ain't.
Little ones.
But anyway, we ain't doing Fortnite today. We ain't doing anything. As you can clearly see, we are putting together our first tier list, and I figure, well, at time of recording, it's November. The Undertaker's debut was in November, but he's more synonymous with WrestleMania, so we are going to rank every single WrestleMania match that the Undertaker's had.
Yep.
And I have the tiers as Hall of Fame, great, good, average, and trash.
You already can put one there. Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez, trash.
Yeah, well, we'll get there, and it won't take that long to get there, but...
Put it now.
I'll put it there. We're going to talk about these in chronological order. Now, I'm going to be honest. We haven't seen all these matches recently, but I'm pretty sure we have an idea of what these matches were dating all the way back to our childhood, because I'm pretty sure we've seen all of them at one point or another, even if it wasn't in order. All right?
Yep.
Starting with the first one being Taker's debut at WrestleMania 7 against Jimmy Snuka. Now, this really wasn't a back-and-forth type match. It was more like a showcase of how dominant The Undertaker is. And at this time, he was just put with Paul Bearer as his manager.
Yeah.
It was a really short match, I believe. Hair under 5 minutes, with Taker winning with a tombstone pile driver. Now, it's not the best Undertaker match. I would just say it's started the streak. It was 1-0. I would just say it's average.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It was good.
Yeah, good, average. Fine, I'll just put it under freaking good for now. If we think different, we can come back and change it. Then we go on to the next Undertaker match, WrestleMania 8, where he fought Jake the Snake Roberts after being Jake's ally and then turning face for the first time when he decided to leave Jake Roberts' side, starting a feud.
Yeah.
Of course, this match really wasn't that good overall, but the ending was memorable because Jake had Taker down and then Taker got up and actually tombstoned Jake Roberts on the outside.
Yeah.
And then rolled him back in the ring for the 3 count. The only reason that happened because Jake Roberts decided instead of pinning Taker, I'm going to go after the manager instead.
Yep.
And that was his downfall, so... Where should the Jake Roberts be placed? Maybe average at best?
Maybe average.
Yeah, like I said, and Taker was 2-0 with this victory. Yeah, I would say average. WrestleMania 9, Taker versus Giant Gonzalez. Enough said on that one. Enough said on that one.
garbage.
It was mostly freaking Giant Gonzalez dominating and getting DQ'd using a chloroform silk rag. The only good highlight of this match was Taker's entrance with that vulture on the chariot.
Yeah.
And then Taker coming back after being stretchered out and delivering 3 clotheslines to Gonzalez. That was it. The Undertaker went 3-0 technically, but it was the only WrestleMania match that ended in a DQ for him. So yeah, that's why I said trash automatically. No dispute there. Right?
Garbage.
Then we go on to... And The Undertaker did not compete at WrestleMania 10 due to injuries, so we have to go to WrestleMania 11 for his next WrestleMania encounter, and that was against King Kong Bundy.
That was a great match.
Now, those two going into the match, I know it kind of started at the 95 Rumble, but then it kind of... And this was really the greater story of Undertaker feuding with Ted DiBiase's members, and the story in the background was Kama stealing Paul Bear's urn and melting it down to a chain. And The Undertaker didn't even hit a tombstone. Of course, you ain't going to lift up a 400-pound man for a tombstone. I think he ended it with like a couple of clotheslines and a big boot to go 4-0 at WrestleMania.
It was a great match.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it great. Maybe to the old school fans, it was kind of good. But I would lean more towards average here. I mean, it was definitely better than the Giant Gonzalez match. That's for damn sure. So I'm not putting it in trash. Even though some people would be like, yeah, put it in trash. So I'm kind of...
I still say it's great, so we can put it in between so it could be good or something.
Well, you say great because your nostalgia is rose-tinted. I'm saying average, so I guess to even it out, we'll put it in good for now.
Yeah.
If we feel any different later after the discussion, we can always put it somewhere else.
Well, yeah. We're going to be reviewing it anyways eventually, so...
Yeah, I mean, I say it's average. You say great. That's why I'm like, I'll compromise and put under good. Now we have possibly WrestleMania 12, The Undertaker versus Diesel, a.k.a. Kevin Nash, which felt to me more like Undertaker's first big WrestleMania match and story going into it. Because it wasn't just Taker dominating or anything like that. It was actually a good back and forth scrap, which I've seen recently.
Yeah.
And yeah, but just like freaking Jake Roberts before him, Nash got cocky when he nailed the jackknife on the Taker, but failed to go for the cover. And of course, the Undertaker came back with a chokeslam, clothesline, and a tombstone to end it and go 5-0 at WrestleMania at the time. So I'm kind of teetering his match with Diesel on the great level because it told a story.
Yeah, I'd say it was great. Yeah.
And here's a little fun fact about that match that a lot of people don't know. Kevin Nash was originally supposed to win that match. Supposedly, until he told Vince that he's leaving for WCW and not re-signing. So Vince told him, well, you're losing to Taker at Mania. So trust me, if had Kevin Nash decided to stay with the WWE at that time, the streak probably would have never been a thing. So now we go to The Undertaker versus Sid. And this was The Undertaker's 6th WrestleMania and his first main event at WrestleMania 13. Now this one was just two great big men slapping man meat.
They were slapping man meat. Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's kind of an asterisk because Taker wasn't the Royal Rumble winner here. That was Steve Austin. This main event between the two kind of replaced the planned Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels main event. And there was a lot of controversy around the title match, including Sid defending the title against Bret Hart in a cage match the Raw prior to this. Right? Match. So.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it was Bret Hart who ultimately interfered in the match, distracting Sid, allowing Taker to take the advantage and hit a tombstone to win the championship. And yeah, I've seen this one very recently, like a few days ago.
Yeah.
So, do I think it's a Hall of Fame worthy match? No. Do I think it's great? Not necessarily, but it could be good. I think it's better than the match he had with Snuka, though.
It was an okay match, so I'd say good.
So yeah, and this was the Undertaker's first world title win at a WrestleMania, going 6-0.
Honestly, if Bret Hart didn't interfere, I would have said yes, Hall of Fame, yes to great. But
Yeah.
it was decent. It was okay.
I mean, yeah. So honestly, with that being said, I would put it in the good tier, above the Snuka match, right here, like that.
Yep.
I mean, teetering on great, but it could have been better. Then we go to arguably what was one of the greatest storylines during the Attitude Era, and that was The Undertaker's match with Kane, the first WrestleMania encounter. As we know the backstory for this one, Kane debuted at the 97 Bad Blood event, supposedly with the backstory being that The Undertaker burnt his face in a family fire that happened, and Kane looking like he united with The Undertaker and then turned on him once again, setting that casket on fire, and that's when The Undertaker accepted the challenge, and it took 3 tombstones to beat Kane that night, but Kane still stood up and attacked Undertaker after the match, symbolizing that this feud was not over, and yeah, The Undertaker went 7-0 at this WrestleMania.
Hall of Fame.
I'm sorry, but this is the first Hall of Fame worthy WrestleMania match I believe Taker's had. It's not the best of match. There was other Hall of Fame worthy matches that were better than this, but as for storytelling, at the time, it was Hall of Fame worthy. Right?
Yeah.
This was my opinion. Now we go to a match that's not Hall of Fame worthy, and that was at WrestleMania 15 when Taker fought the Big Boss Man in that Hell in a Cell. Probably the second worst Hell in a Cell in WWE history. It was sluggish. It was freaking slow. Both were heels at this point. And the only reason why people remember is because of what happened after the match when Taker, quote, hung the Big Boss Man after going 8-0 at WrestleMania over him.
I'd say average.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. To me, okay, fine. I'll put on average because of the shock value of after the match, but if it wasn't for that, it would have been in trash. But you know, Michael Cole's commentary for this one, it's kind of weird. They see someone potentially dying, and they're like, this could be a sign? Is this could be a sign? Then literally a few minutes later, hey, did you see Fan Access yesterday? Like, what the hell, bro? Let the angle rest. You couldn't even do that? Right?
Yep.
So yeah, that match to me, the Boss Man match wasn't too good, but you know what match was good? The WrestleMania 17 encounter with Triple H that Taker had. Their first encounter at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The one that people seem to forget when they talk about Triple H and Taker's outings. They only think of the latter two. That would happen later. But this one actually happened, and I think this was the one where they first acknowledged the streak being a thing. When Jim Ross kind of mentioned on commentary saying the Undertaker's 8-0 at WrestleMania during their match.
Yeah.
And of course, this was the one where the referee played dead for like 20 minutes while I fought in the crowd. Which you and I reviewed this match too. For this event, WrestleMania 17 event.
Yep.
In the end, Triple H got all cocky, but it did feature that one spot where freaking Taker went for that last ride and Triple H hit him in the head with a sledgehammer, busting him open. Right?
Well, this is why he uses a actual sledgehammer, because the sledgehammer was rubber, but it broke and Taker got hit by the handle, which busted him open.
Of course, Triple H then at the end went for the 10 spots in the corner, got all cocky, posed, and then got beat with the last ride.
Yes. That's why now Triple H uses a sledgehammer, but he puts his hand, an actual sledgehammer, and just puts his hand over the top of it so no one gets hurt.
Yep, so This match, I don't know if this match is Hall of Fame worthy. Yes, they would have two better WrestleMania matches down the line, but I would say this first encounter was actually great between Taker and Triple H, and this was the American Badass Undertaker, not the Phenom Taker.
Yeah.
Would you agree? I think this one would. I think this goes into the great category.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just put this one in the great category above the Diesel match. No offense to Triple H's friend Kevin Nash there. I thought that match was better.
Yeah.
And what do you know? We go after another somewhat good, decent match, and that was, oh yeah, and Triple H Undertaker went 9-0 over that victory with Triple H. Now we go to his WrestleMania 18 encounter with Ric Flair. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this after the Boss Man match. Taker did not compete at WrestleMania 16 due to injury, but we already figured that one out already when I went to 17.
Yep.
So we go to the Undertaker's match with Ric Flair. This one, everyone thought at the time was going to be a regular match, but no, it was later announced to be a no DQ match, and this one was a brawl, and Ric Flair was actually the face while Taker was the heel, but Taker still got cheered regardless. All right? And this was Big Evil Biker Taker at the time, 2 months before he would win the championship from Hogan. All right?
Yeah.
And this one was a good one, and it even featured a run-in spot from Arn Anderson, giving Taker that spine buster, but in the end, Taker won this match with a tombstone onto a bloody Ric Flair to go 10-0.
Yep.
And even after the match, he posed on the apron with all 10 of his fingers, symbolizing his streak at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this would... I don't know. I think this match should be... It's teetering on great, but I'm thinking it's really a good encounter.
It was a good encounter.
Would you say this encounter would be better than the match he had with Sid, though? Yeah, I think so. The no DQ stipulation helped out a lot.
Yeah, I guess.
So, yeah, Ric Flair and Taker's counter goes under good. Just teetering below great. Right?
Yeah.
You know what? WrestleMania match was not good. His handicap match he had with Big Show and A-Train at WrestleMania 19. This was
It wasn't really a handicap because Nathan Jones came out at the end anyways.
Well, this was supposed to be a tag match with Taker and Nathan Jones against Big Show and A-Train, but they realized Nathan Jones was green as goose shit, so they took him out of the match, making it a handicap match. Of course, this WrestleMania did feature The Undertaker's Limp Bizkit entrance, played live. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what it has that going for it, but the match itself really wasn't that great. It was just pretty much 3 men beating down The Undertaker and Undertaker making a comeback. And then Jones coming out at the end, hitting a freaking kick to the Big Show, and a kick to A-Train on the out, and a kick to the A-Train in the ring, with Taker winning with a tombstone to A-Train. In any other circumstance, that would have caused for a disqualification, but the referee was like, nope, I'm just going to let it slide.
Yeah.
And the Undertaker went 11-0 here, and actually at the end of the match posed with the American flag here, but to me it just wasn't good. I wouldn't put it in gray category, obviously. I don't necessarily think it's trash, so I think this match was really average.
Yeah, it was average.
Yeah, I think it's average. I don't know if it's better than the Jake Snake Roberts match, but it's better than that Hell in a Cell, that's for sure. Not by much. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just slightly better than the Boss Man match, in my opinion.
Yep.
Now we go to a WrestleMania match that we've seen very recently for the review, and that was his second WrestleMania match with Kane, when he returned as the Dead Man at WrestleMania 20. Right?
Yep.
Let's face it, the match was good. I mean, you can hear the whole match in its entirety on our review channel, on our review for WrestleMania 20, but honestly, this match is only remembered because of the nostalgia of Taker coming out with his entrance theme. And his old manager, Paul Bearer, going, oh, yes. You do the voice way better.
Yes.
You do the voice way better than I ever could. And yeah, this match was significantly shorter than their first encounter, with the Undertaker winning with a tombstone. And this is more remembered for the moment, not really the match.
I'd say great. It wasn't really Hall of Fame worthy per se.
Like I said,
I may be wrong. People, you guys, everyone else that may be watching this, whenever it's put up,
they have their own opinion of it.
Say what their opinion is in the comment. You may not agree with me. You may agree with me. That's up to you.
Yeah.
I just say it was a great because it was when he just started. He came back from injury after.
He was being buried alive, and that's when he came back as the dead man.
Yeah, but he was also coming back from an injury or his wife having a kid. I forget which one it was.
Probably family stuff for a little bit. And they convinced him to come back as a dead man. Management did. So, as a story, as a comeback, it was great. As a match, it was good. So, we'll just say it's good. Maybe. We'll just say it's like on the higher tier of good, like above Ric Flair for that reason.
Yes.
That way, it's like on the teetering between good and great. Because, you know, the nostalgia of the Taker coming back was great, but the match was all right. It was good for what it was. It was more for like the moments of the match, if I'm making myself clear.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying as a match, it's beginning of the good side here.
You put it in great.
That's what I meant to do.
There you go.
It's under good. It's not really great, but it's near great, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now we go to what many call The Undertaker's first official streak match, when the streak was first defended at WrestleMania. Oh yeah, when he defeated Kane, he went 12-0. Then we go to his 13th WrestleMania appearance, and that was against Randy Orton at WrestleMania 21.
No.
You know, their first encounter. Now, we've seen recently their other encounters, but not WrestleMania 21. We haven't reviewed that one yet. But I remember this one actually being Randy Orton being like the first legit threat, because they played to the crowd like it's Taker going to be beaten this time. Including...
this was also when his dad rushed in as well.
With the cast from the 80s, right? And even though that didn't help him at all. Yes, and this one did have that great spot where Orton reversed the chokeslam to the RKO for a near fall.
Yeah.
But in the end, Orton got cocky, went for the tombstone himself, but then Taker reversed it into a tombstone of his own to go 13-0.
Yep.
At WrestleMania. Now, that's just a brief of what happened. We're going to go into detail when we review that, like bigger detail, but that's just a brief of it. And honestly, this match overall, it's not Hall of Fame worthy, but I think it's a contestant for the great category. Because it felt like something was actually on the line here between these two.
It was good.
You say great, you say good, so I'll just put above the Kane match on good, then. Like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So far, we only got one Hall of Fame category, one and two great candidates. Let's go to a WrestleMania match that's not good, and that was his casket match with Mark Henry at WrestleMania 22. Yeah, this was Mark Henry before the Hall of Pain gimmick.
Trash.
And after that great Hall of Fame, or great match he had with Orton the year prior, it's funny. Or that good match with Orton the year before. Why they put this here?
Trash.
I don't know. A lot of people say this is trash. I've seen it before, and I'm just like, doesn't feel like a good WrestleMania match to me. Feels like something you could have watched at a C pay-per-view or a B pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So maybe... So yeah, no offense to Mark Henry, he was just, not the character he would become. No, if this was Hall of Pain Mark Henry, against Taker, I think that match would have been better. Hell, there were talks at WrestleMania 22 that Taker was going to face Kurt Angle, with Angle being the one to break the streak. Yes, we eventually got the Kurt Angle versus Taker match the month prior, but it just felt like his WrestleMania match at Mania 22 would have been better with Angle.
Yeah, but the Mark Henry match was trash.
I still say it's better than the Gonzalez match.
Yes, it's better than the Gonzalez match, but it's still trash.
To me, it felt more like an average match, but I'll compromise. I'll just put at the end of average, as in, yeah, it's there, but you don't need to waste your time, right?
Yes.
But if I was going to put in the trash tier, it'd be above the Gonzalez one, and trust me, I don't think any match is going to be worse than the Gonzalez one. That's why that one's in trash, right?
Yes.
Then we go on to, the Undertaker went 14-0 against Mark Henry. Now we have his first World Championship match in the middle of a card at WrestleMania 23 against Batista.
It was great.
That match was a banger.
Yes. Like I said, it was great. That goes right into great territory.
Those two tore the hell out of each other, and there were times where everyone thought Batista was going to break the streak. And this actually felt like a legit Undertaker WrestleMania battle.
Yeah.
Unlike the Mark Henry match the year prior.
Yeah.
But in the end, the Undertaker did eventually hit the tombstone on Batista to win his first World Heavyweight Championship and his 5th World Championship overall with the company, so... not exactly Hall of Fame category worth, but I would put it in great, maybe above the Triple H match.
Yes, it was a great match. There was a hard hitter. If it was a little bit longer, then yeah, it would have been Hall of Fame worthy, but...
Yeah.
It did what it did.
Yep. So I'll put that one under great. And then, what do we know? We got another banger, WrestleMania 24, his second WrestleMania main event match against Edge for the world title from 2008. I'm sorry, but this match, people remember it for that long-ass entrance ramp that the referee Charles Robinson sprinted all the way down to make a 2 count. Like he was running a goddamn mile-long marathon or something.
I'd say it was good. It was okay.
And there was times where Edge looked like he was going to break the streak, but in the end, Edge got trapped in the Hell's Gate submission hold and tapped out.
Yeah.
To give The Undertaker his 7th world title, or his 6th world title overall. 2nd World Heavyweight Championship reign.
Yeah.
Did you know, originally Vince McMahon wanted Edge to be the one to break the streak that night, and Edge was like, nope, not doing that. I don't want that kind of heat.
Well, no one wanted the heat of ending the streak.
So yeah, the Undertaker's victory over Batista went 15-0. Undertaker went 16-0 here. So I thought the match was pretty good. I don't know if it was great, but I would say it would be good. Like maybe about here behind the Orton match.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't mean that it sucked. I'm just saying you'd have a good time watching it. But there was better matches than that one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all these matches I'm putting in good are watchable, okay? That's pretty much what I'm doing. Oh, and what do we know? WrestleMania 25, where he went 17-0 against Shawn Michaels.
Perfect.
No disputing that. People regard that as the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. From WrestleMania 25.
WrestleMania 26, when he faced him again.
Oh, yeah, and WrestleMania 26? Fuck it. That one goes in Hall of Fame. That's a 2-for-1 package there.
Yeah, because it was literally, he was 4 months denying a rematch at WrestleMania or anything for facing him, and then he screwed him over in Hell in a Cell. No, not Hell, Elimination Chamber.
Yes. So
because
yeah,
he came out from the underneath the grate from the
chamber itself.
pot, well, right in front of the pod underneath that grate, and super kicked him right in the face where he lost his title.
Yes, and yeah,
which prompted him to do the rematch at WrestleMania 26, but it was career versus streak.
Yes. Of course, the WrestleMania 25, that was pretty much heaven and hell storyline they were doing on. It was a great match to start with, possibly the best WrestleMania match of all time. And after about a 30-minute masterpiece, Taker won with catching Michaels in the air and tombstoning him down to win. And then, like you said, the following year, they did the story like that, with Michaels' career on the line, and Taker once again won after a great 25-minute encounter. Now, those are interchangeable. People think that the WrestleMania 36 encounter was better, and people think the WrestleMania 25 encounter was great. For my list, I say the 25 encounter was good.
I like the 26.
Yeah. But, those are interchangeable. It just depends on my mood, my day.
Yeah. Well, like I said, people, whenever this is put out, you can put in the comments if you agree, disagree, what tier you think it would go in, whatever you guys think it is, we'll give that consideration.
Yes. I mean, Undertaker. So, yeah, the Undertaker went 17-0 and 18-0 against Michaels, respectively, at both of these WrestleManias.
Yep.
Oh, and what do you know? We have another Hall of Fame worthy candidate from WrestleMania 27, this time against Triple H in that no holds barred match they had. The only good match to WrestleMania 27.
There's no contesting it. There's Hall of Fame. They threw the fucking kitchen sink at each other and still fucking let it go down.
There ain't no contention. This is the Hall of Fame, the best match of WrestleMania 27. The Undertaker, and after like a grueling 30-minute war, The Undertaker won, but with the submission hold, but Triple H was the one who walked out of the arena that night while Taker had to be stretchered out.
Yes, like I said, they threw everything, even the fucking kitchen sink, and they still would not give up.
Exactly. And it's the only great match for WrestleMania 27. We reviewed that one, and it was the only good match to that entire shit show. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, yeah, and The Undertaker went 19-0 at WrestleMania 27. Oh, what do we got here? WrestleMania 28 Hell in a Cell match? Fuck it. Putting this above the Shawn Michaels 26 match, but Hall of Fame worthy. I think their Hell in a Cell encounter was better than the WrestleMania 27, but still enjoyable.
Like I said, they threw the entire kitchen sink. It did not matter. They threw the fucking whole house.
Yes. And Shawn Michaels was a referee for their Hell in a Cell encounter. And I remember seeing this live, and I'm just like, this is the best WrestleMania match I've fucking seen.
They both had to be carried out that fucking year by a cart because they literally both could not stand up.
Yeah, and the Undertaker...
They couldn't stand up, but they couldn't walk out underneath their power.
Of course, this one also had the famous Shawn Michaels super kicking Taker and Triple H hitting the pedigree near false spot that everyone loves. And these two were the masters of the Hell in a Cell match at the time, so it was a dream match personally anyway.
Yeah.
And I feel like that match delivered. And in the end, the Undertaker won with a tombstone and went 20-0, and of course after the match it did show all of them on the entrance ramp embracing with each other. The end of an era is what they like to call it.
But like I said, they had to, because both of them could not walk out underneath their own power. They both had to have help to walk out of there.
So yeah, that's good. But
that's
anyway,
because they threw everything, house appliances, the whole entire fucking house, and still nothing can really top those matches that they had.
Yes. And then we go to the WrestleMania 29. Taker was done with Michaels and Triple H for the 4-year stretch, and then he's facing at WrestleMania 29, he fought CM Punk, who just got off of a 434-day title reign and was red hot at this point. as one of the top
I
heels.
still say that's Hall of Fame worthy. They had a good match.
Yes, and Taker, CM Punk had another great match out of Taker. He had the best match of WrestleMania 29, which was kind of a lackluster WrestleMania, let's face it. And there were times when everyone thought CM Punk would be the guy to break the streak, but no, that didn't happen.
Well, he didn't want it to end.
Yep. And then in the end, after a grueling contest with a bunch of long grueling contests.
Even when Punk was a heel, he still didn't want that fucking heat of being the one to defeat the Undertaker.
So yeah, after a great back and forth match, Taker won with a tombstone piledriver, going 21-0, and I don't know if I would put this in Hall of Fame category, but it is great. I think I would put it at the top of great.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying, compared to the other bangers that we just talked about, it doesn't match up.
Yeah.
So I would just put this one on the top of great above the Batista match. And well, now we get to the part that, well, hindsight being 2020, it may be a great decision or the wrong decision, but we go to his match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. And this is where Taker lost the streak and lost to Brock.
Honestly, I still say that's still Hall of Fame worthy. Even though it was kind of unscripted where he ended the freaking streak.
The Undertaker was concussed early in the match and didn't kick out after a third F5. Thus making the streak go to 21-1. With Brock being the one. And whether it's scripted like Taker confirmed it or whether you think it's off script, either way, the result still happened. Same result still happened with Brock beating the streak.
I say still Hall of Fame.
I wouldn't necessarily call this a good match, but just for the moment alone, which silenced everyone, like, there's not really many moments in wrestling that can get everyone in the crowd quiet after it happens.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like to me.
It made everyone quiet. Even around the world, people are like,
just looking at their shit stunned. We even got that shocked fan guy in the crowd meme.
Yes.
Or that shocked crowd guy for a meme out of that. I remember watching this live, and even I was stunned, like, huh? They actually did it? What? All right?
Yep.
And everyone in that big arena went silent. You can hear a pin drop.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to put this one behind the Taker-Kane match. Reason being, because the match itself really wasn't that great. I'm only putting Hall of Fame just because of the ending and how legendary it became and how silent the crowd were. Something that doesn't happen at all, period. All right? It's like everyone just witnessed the death of wrestling. That's what it felt like.
We just saw the end of an era.
Mm-hmm. But then, the Undertaker would disappear for a year because this was back when he was on a part-time schedule near the end of his career looking for that one last great match. So we go on to WrestleMania 31 where he fought the great late Bray Wyatt. And even though a lot of people say that Bray Wyatt should have won this match to pass in the torch, they ain't going to have the Undertaker lose at WrestleMania 2 years in a row.
No.
Because everyone would just be pissed off at that point. Right?
Yeah.
So it was really a lose-lose. You either push this new guy to make him be the next, supernatural being, or you have the Undertaker beat him.
Honestly, I can't decide if it was either a great match or a Hall of Fame worthy. So I would just say put it in the front of the great matches because it is.
Of course, I
for
did
the special reasons. Yes, Hall of Fame, match worthy. Didn't live up to it. Honestly, a lot of people have controversy over it.
Mm-hmm.
I say yes and no at the same time, but either way, it deserves either Hall of Fame or great match. Nothing below that.
For me, it's a good part that stands in my mind from this match was when Bray Wyatt was doing his little spider walk, taunting Taker, and Taker just sat up and just looked at him.
Yes.
And Bray Wyatt was all like, "Oh shit, fuck." I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, your supernatural ability ain't gonna work against his supernatural ability.
That's why I'm saying it's either between great and Hall of Fame, nothing below.
And of course, Taker won that match with a tombstone, going 32-1. At this point, his WrestleMania record really didn't matter.
Yes.
But I think I would just put it behind. It's like good and great. I'm just gonna put it right here under behind the Diesel match and great. Only because of, it was still a great match, but, it could have been better. But then again, they could have used it to build up Bray Wyatt, but they weren't going to have Taker lose 2 years in a row. So that's how I feel about it. So,
well, like I said, my opinion, it fluctuated between either Hall of Fame or great, nothing below that.
Yeah. Of course,
because it was a great match and it was Hall of Fame worthy.
Of course,
I just can't make up my mind.
Of course, their eerie entrances were good, but the only freaking downfall was it was in broad daylight and not at night, which it should have been.
Yeah.
But I still get it. Now we go on to Undertaker's WrestleMania 32 encounter against Shane McMahon in that Hell in a Cell match, which is just basically remembered for one thing, and that's Shane McMahon jumping off the cell. And a convoluted, fucked up storyline saying if Shane loses, then he can't control Raw, but if Shane wins, he can control Raw. Which Shane McMahon ended up freaking being the GM of SmackDown later on in the year anyway following this. So the story didn't really make any sense. This whole match didn't really make any sense of why those two were arriving. Pretty much it's just Taker going out there and being Vince McMahon's bitch.
I just say it's good.
And the only spot that people remember was Shane McMahon diving off the Hell in a Cell through the announce table after Taker moved out of the way.
Yeah.
And Taker won with a tombstone and went 33-1 at this point. Or 23-1 at this point. I don't fucking know. Right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it was 23-1. His Royal match was 22-1. I'm sorry, it's not good, but I feel like it's better than the Snuka match. But not as good as a Sid match, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And then we go on to WrestleMania 33. The Undertaker's second loss at WrestleMania, this time to Roman Reigns.
Trash.
You're saying that because of who won.
Trash.
Of course, the Undertaker himself even said that he wasn't in the best of shape during this match. He couldn't deliver to his standards. And it shows.
Trash.
Any basic move, the Undertaker was winded. He tried to lift up Roman, couldn't do it. Roman tried to lift him up, couldn't do it. And mind you, the Undertaker would have freaking hip replacement surgery shortly after this event.
Yes. Trash.
I'm not making excuses for him. This is just pretty much all he said during that documentary. And then he really looks back at this Roman Reigns match, not with the fondest eyes.
No, he said he wishes it could have been better. That's what I said. Trash.
The Undertaker, Mark Holloway himself, even said he wishes his match would be better. And even in his opinion, he probably thinks his match with Roman is trash.
Trash.
Of course, the only memorable thing, why I don't think it's really that trash, maybe at the bottom of average, is after the match, when Taker teased his retirement, leaving his attire in the ring. Though the Undertaker would come back literally a year later, but at that point, we all thought that was it. But at the time, we all thought that was it,
Yes. Trash. Above Gonzalez, but trash.
Fine, it's fine. Okay, fine. I think it's at the end of average. You say it's at trash. I'll just put it at the start of trash. Right?
Yes, trash.
Because the ending is the post-match is memorable, but the match between the Royals bell to bell kind of sucked.
Yes. Trash.
Even Mark Calloway would admit that match sucked. Right?
Yes.
So the Undertaker went 23-2 at that event.
Yes.
And then we go to the Undertaker's match at WrestleMania 34 against John Cena. I really hate to say this, but That's also going in the trash bin.
I'd say it's average.
I hate to put a John Cena match in the trash, but that was a short squash. All things considered.
Well, there was only a couple. I'd say it was the low tier of average. I wouldn't say it was trash.
I mean, Cena came in, hit a shoulder block to Taker, went for the freaking "you can't see me." The Undertaker sat up and tombstoned him to win.
Well, it was really an impromptu match as well because he didn't know if he was going to be there or not.
So either way, the Undertaker went 24-2 at this event. Fine, I'll put it behind the Mark Henry match because at least the Mark Henry match was a match.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it was at the low tier of average, but it wasn't really trash.
Yeah, it was a short squash. That's what it was.
That's what I'm saying is average.
The Undertaker went 24-2 at that event at Mania 34.
And
then his final match, the Boneyard match.
There is no contesting it.
The Boneyard match, his last match ever at WrestleMania 36. So he didn't compete at WrestleMania 35 for whatever reason. We don't know. But that cinematic match, his last match to date. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you haven't. I'm pretty sure there's only a few people who haven't. This match was like a mini movie, like the final fight scene in a action movie. Is what it felt like.
Yeah, he comes back to it on his fucking bike.
Came back on the Harley. He came back on the motorcycle. Had this cinematic brawl with Styles. Played up to his strength. And even gave us that meme, freaking worthy, freaking like picture with Styles on the tractor smiling and Taker just appears behind him. Like, you're fucked now.
Exactly.
And, you know, I really can't describe. Even if we do the review at WrestleMania 36, I can't describe it move for move. Okay, it's just something you got to go watch yourself.
Yes.
And it all ended with Taker burying Styles alive after Styles kept saying, "Don't bury me." Great cinematic work, so. That'd be a Hall of Fame.
He buried the whole OC. He buried Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, too.
Yes. And I know it's Hall of Fame worthy, obviously, but is it... I don't know, man. I'm just going to have to... Wait, what did I do here? I think I fucked something up. Where'd it go? I'm thinking I'm going to have to put this... at least right there.
Yes.
You know, third Hall of Fame worthy match. I think there's match of Triple H and Michaels were still better.
Yes.
But, you know, that one will always stick in my mind. Hell, I even have that WrestleMania 36 picture on my wall. Right? With him posing with the bike like that.
Well, it was him bringing back his biker form.
Yeah. Okay, and so there you have it. Move that over. So yeah, but I think that's our final ranking tier list. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So yeah, we have Hall of Fame being Taker versus Michaels, Mania 25, Taker versus Triple H, 28, the Boneyard match at 36, which, yeah, let's face it, I think the Undertaker went 25-2 at 36, but who's really sure that was his final match anyway?
Yes, and then we have Taker versus Michaels at 26.
At 26. And then we got Taker versus Triple H, 27.
Yep.
Undertaker versus Kane at WrestleMania 14, and Taker versus Brock at the last bit. Only because of the crowd reaction after the match.
Yes.
So great, we have CM Punk versus Taker. Taker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 17. First encounter, Triple H versus Diesel or Taker versus Diesel and Taker versus Wyatt.
Yes.
Then on good, we got Triple H, God damn! Taker versus Batista. Taker versus Edge. Taker versus Orton. Taker versus Kane, second encounter.
Yeah.
Taker versus Flair, Taker versus Sid, Taker versus Shane, Taker versus Snuka, and Taker versus Bundy.
Yes.
And on the average, we got Taker versus Jake, Taker versus Big Show and A-Train, Taker versus Boss Man, Taker versus Henry, and Taker versus Cena.
Yep.
And for trash, we got Taker versus Roman and Taker versus Gonzalez.
Yes. Trash. Full trash. Z tier. Trash.
Yep. So, would you agree with this ranking list? I think I think I would after all this discussion of every single WrestleMania match that the Undertakers competed in. So, okay, yep, that's our tier ranking list. So, yeah, if you agree with it, let us know. If there's other matches you would put in any of these categories from Taker's career, let us know in the comments.
Or if you agree with my assessment on most of them, let us know. I'll give that some consideration, and then we'll probably respond to it. We'll probably do a stream of us responding to your guys' comments on most of our stuff.
Yes. And if you want to see more tier ranking lists like this in the future, we'll be glad to do so because I feel like doing something new every other week. So, and I figured tier lists would be the way to go.
You guys can give us some ideas as well for tier lists.
And, you know, other
anime tier lists, manga, cartoons,
other topics.
Movies.
Other topics, yes.
Superstars
in general.
Whatever.
Yep. Or top 10 lists of superstar matches.
Huh?
So anyway, with that being said, we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
My brother wants us to do a tier list of Korean soap operas.
I have no knowledge in that department.
I have some.
But anyway, that being said, we will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.